The naval confrontations that occurred during the Barbary Wars were infrequent but brutal. In the Shores of Tripoli, the naval combat system is relatively simple and straightforward, much like the Barbary War itself. When American frigates are moved to a harbor that contains enemy ships, a naval battle ensues. The only exceptions are the harbor of Gibraltar, which is owned by the British, or if the event card, a show of force or tribute, is played. There are other exceptions which are listed in the rules under Naval Combat. The battle starts with players announcing if any battle cards will be played. Then, each player rolls 2 dice for each frigate they control, and 1 die for each corsair or gunboat they control. All results of a 6 are hits, and the battle ends after 1 round. The active player will allocate hits to their own fleet first. Gunboats and corsairs are sunk with the first hit, but frigates take 2 hits to sink. If a frigate takes 1 hit and survives the battle, it is moved to the year turn track unless it is 1806, when it is then returned to supply. Sunk Tripolitan frigates are returned to supply, but sunk American frigates are collected by the Tripolitan player. If the Tripolitan player sinks 4 frigates, they instantly win the game. If the American player moves ships into a harbor with no enemy ships, but enemy infantry is present, they can bombard them. Each frigate rolls 2 dice, while each gunboat rolls a single die. A result of 6 is a hit, which removes 1 Tripolitan infantry back to its supply. Afterwards, all frigates and gunboats are moved to Malta. If any American ground forces face Tripolitan infantry, combat will take place. It will last until one side is eliminated. Any American ships in the harbor will bombard first and then retreat back to Malta. Any battle cards that either side wants to play will be done so at this time. Starting with the American player, each side rolls 1 die per infantry unit. A result of 6 is a hit. Each hit which is allocated by the owning player will remove an infantry unit. If all Tripolitan infantry is eliminated, the Americans capture the city. If the city is Tripoli, the Americans win the game. The Shores of Tripoli also features pirate raids by the Tripolitan player, and the assault on Tripoli itself, which decides the game and the Barbary War. After nearly 5 years, it would be the U.S. Marines, along with local warriors, who would end the conflict with the capture of Derna. With the writing on the wall, the Tripolitan leader, Yusuf Karamanli, signaled his intentions for peace. Thus ended the Barbary War.